rap about how I'm living, yeah. Always sunny niggas got no children, yeah. Trying to make my way to $1 million cash. No one's getting saved, I'm the villain, yeah. I should be detained, how I'm killing it. They ain't think I make it, I'm still in.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the third episode of MixtKid's Club. Appreciate y'all for coming out and joining the party today. What I want to get into real quick is MixtKid's Club is essentially us multiracial babies, some of us biracial, some of us multiracial, but just having conversations about our experiences and what we've been through, where we're going, how we do it together. So today on MixtKid's Club, I have a very special guest, a dear friend of mine who is part of the West Seneca Little Loop squad, who is an amazing, talented graduate of West Seneca West Central High School. He is arguably the most talented receiver to ever grace the University of Maine Bears football team. Okay, he is a former NFL wide receiver. He is a chicken wing connoisseur, and he was in love with Allentown, New York before Josh Allen even got there. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, what I would like for you to do is give it up one time for my good buddy. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jeremy Kelley. Give it up for Jeremy Kelley. Jeremy Kelley, come on in here, Jeremy Kelley. Come on with it. Come on with it, Jeremy Kelley. There he is. There he is.
You can't start this off lying to the people, man.
Hey, bro. You know what? At me, okay?
You do that, man.
Hey, you know what? If there's somebody out there in the world who can dispute anything I just said, feel free to hit me up and let me know.
I think there's a lot of people that would. I just don't think they care enough to do it. You know, no one's doing the research. No one's doing the research.
Hey, all I'm saying is I stand by what I said. I said what I said.
Oh man, what's up?
I said
baby?
what I said.
How you been, man?
Man, I'm doing well, brother. How you living?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm
Yeah?
really good. It's been a Sorry, I'm trying to get you set up here. I feel like my head is cut off. That's what even being tall, sitting down.
I mean, that's what happens. That's what happens when you built like Megatron, bro. That's what happens.
Man, I'm trying to get back, bro. Everything is. Last time you saw me, I was real frail out here. Yeah, boy.
You were soft.
Took a
soft?
2-3 year hiatus. Yeah, man. What's going on, man? What time is it out there?
It is 2:20 in the morning. I know we got an early start, guys. That's my fault. I screwed up the timeline. I'm supposed to be good at math, but I dropped the ball on that one. I'm sorry.
It's all right, man.
But
2:20 a.m.
2:20 a.m.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, man.
Gotcha. Yeah, we wrapping it up over here. 5:20 p.m.
Yeah, you guys just finishing up your Tuesday, huh?
No question. Got a couple things coming up, but I'm waiting for this, baby.
Bruh, I'm pumped, right? Okay, so I'm gonna jump right into this, right? So
I didn't look, first of all, we'll be clear. I haven't looked at any. I mean, I skimmed through your questions, so it's off the top because there was really not much prep, but you know.
Hey, that makes it more fun. So. That makes it more fun. We can keep it all the way 100.
Yeah.
So the irony is, right, as soon as I did this one with Andre, Amanda, your cousin, hit me up.
Okay.
And was like, "Oh my God, you should get my cousin Jeremy on here." I was like, I already reached out to him. This is already in the works. Like for some reason she thinks we're not homies. I don't know. I'm not really sure.
She got to get caught up, man.
So shout out to Amanda one time. What's up, Tank? How you doing?
Shout out. She actually texted me this morning. She did.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. My little cousin, he playing with the varsity basketball team now, so she had a
Oh, okay.
That's her son, so
Yeah,
no doubt. Yeah.
That's what's up.
Man. Yeah.
Good genetics. So that's actually going to be. I was going to use that as the segue to jump into this because I know Amanda from high school.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I guess my question, being the handsome and intelligent and wise and charming biracial baby that you are,
my guy.
I mean, tell the people about yourself things that I haven't told them. Tell the people about yourself. Who is Jeremy Kelley?
Random black guy on the phone with Ian Riddick right now.
You know what?
So,
It's but you know,
to
I think
somebody,
it's
that's who I am right now.
for sure, for sure,
Oh
and I think
man.
that's interesting that you chose to use that terminology because one of the questions that I've been asked is, you know, who do you, which race, if any, do you associate yourself with more? And your
Right.
statement just there was, I'm the random black guy,
Oh, right. Yeah.
but
So,
are you not equally the random white guy?
right. I know, right? It just depends on what type of look I want people to give me. You know,
I mean,
right.
you look like a light skinned black dude.
That's
I
right.
look like a very ethnically ambiguous individual.
Yeah, no one like I look at you and get confused. Like I don't really know. I don't really know what you can pass us a lot of things right now. You probably got all types of treatment going through TSA.
Oh, bro, I'm Lebanese out here,
I'm
or
sure. No
Egyptian
question.
for
No
sure.
question. Dre, what up, baby? I see you. Yeah, man. Look, jokes aside, right? So you know, Jeremy Kelley, right here, Buffalo, New York, Buffalonian. You know, I'm sure I tapped into the last conversation that you had with Dre. Obviously, you know, we can all speak to similar stories growing up in suburbia America, in a small market city like Buffalo, and sharing those experiences being a biracial kid, right? Like we have
Mm-hmm.
stories. We also have the stories. You know, that's such a blessing. First of all, like that's such a thing.
Talk about it. Talk about it.
The range of experiences that you have as a kid, especially I think in the era that we came up in.
Mm-hmm.
You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
you were a little bit before me, obviously, but there was still touch points of it not being accepted or still being curious. It wasn't as
Sure.
normalized as it is now. You know what I'm saying? Like we obviously were the tokens at that time in school, and you can see it now. I go back and I'm like, yo, where all these black people come from at
Bruh.
local high school? You know, whatever. It's times have changed. So, um, so long and short of it, though, we were provided with a wealth of perspective, I think, and experiences. You know, I can speak to experiences that I had from my father's side down in the city of the east side of Buffalo, and I can speak to experiences that are way out in the country with dirt bikes and quads, growing up with cousins and family that were out there. You know, and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
everything in between, right? The neighborhood I grew up in was football first, then hockey, then basketball.
Yeah,
Right. So
okay.
like
Yeah, yeah.
people look
Yeah.
at me crazy when they see 6'6" get on some ice skates and I start you know, I'm
And you
skating
start
around
and you start
like,
twirling on them, twinkle
where'd you learn
toes.
this? Right, exactly. So, you know, it's the unexpected that you bring to people that I just think has a ton of value. You know, I think anyone
Mm-hmm.
who does, and I'm speaking to you, me, and Dre, obviously, just because we have this, you know, our ties, we're cut from the same cloth. Like when people meet us, I think that we're unique in certain senses because we've been provided an upbringing and experiences that maybe are just unique in so many ways. So, you know, nonetheless, man, that's who I am. I don't need the resume and all that stuff, man. You know, we played a little ball. They never let me hang around long enough to set my bags down, but that's all
Hey
good
man.
now. So here we are. Here we
Hey,
are.
you made it a lot further than 99.999% of the humans. And as far as I know, sir, I'm proud to call you my friend, so that's all that matters
Oh,
to me.
man.
Um,
Yeah.
so as you mentioned, you know, you had experiences with your father's side of the family on the east side of Buffalo. You had experiences out in the country on quads and whatnot. Talk a little bit about how you were received by both sides of your family, um, just in general. And
Right.
I guess I can help lead into that because, like I've said before, you know, my mom had to explain to her parents in 1980
Mm-hmm.
that she was pregnant with a black man's baby, and that's a different time. You know what I mean? That's just different. And so when I was born, I promise you, my grandmother has never at any point in her life given me anything but all the love she's ever had.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes for the majority of my family. I can't say all, but the majority of my family. Can you speak to that on your situation and your how
Yes.
you were raised?
Yes. So, you know, I don't, you know, it's actually interesting. I never really got full stories, but my mother, when you know she had been married previously, and I have a brother who's 5 years older, and then whenever that marriage ended, you know, afterwards she had met my father somewhere along the lines. Um, they were never married, and so I know at that time though, grandma, you know, her mom, her dad, they were worried about, oh, well, what does this look like at church? Right? Like they, that came up. It was a question. It was a discussion that my mother had. Right?
Hmm.
There was just some, anxiety about that. Right? The perception, whatever that may be. But to your point, never got nothing but love from my family. Like it was never even they didn't shun my mother. They didn't do anything like that. It was just, again, I think speaking to it wasn't I don't know, maybe at that time it just wasn't the norm. Certainly not where we came up, right?
No,
It was still a thing that people weren't accustomed to.
yeah.
And so, I'm sure my mother had crazy looks, going through the grocery store with a little black baby in the cart or something, probably, but it was just different times, right? So nothing but love from my family though, man, from day one. I mean, you know how it is, man. You growing up, you got white people trying to cut your hair and all different stuff that you going through. It's just like tragic, bro. You like, yo, I look back at the pictures now, I'm like, yo, who did this to me, man?
Bro, we could have an
Who did
entire
this to me?
chat about
Who did this?
ethnic haircuts.
Oh, bro. Yo, it's like, oh, we gonna
We could
take
have
it
an
over there to
entire
Sean because she got clippers. Like, what? She ain't got no certificate. Who taught her that?
or if you want to even, as we sidetrack, if you want to, how many times growing up in school did someone be like, yo, can I touch your hair?
I mean, man. Yeah, if you don't get,
Bro, what, no, get your hand out of, go away. You can't touch my hair. What is wrong with you? Bro,
Yeah, bro.
I actually have a friend out here. Her name is Toomey, and she is Omani, and her DJ name is DJ Don't Touch My Hair. She don't play, big curls, beautiful hair, beautiful woman. So shout out to Toomey real quick, but yeah, you can't play that game. One of the things, another thing I wanted to bring up, and I wanted to ask you about specifically, being is that your experience as a player in the league, but also now on the business side of it.
Right.
How have you, or what was your experience like being a light-skinned individual in a very masculine scenario? And I say that because I've had experiences where I've dealt with players on my team or opposing teams where they'd be like this, you too light skinned to be tough, you ain't gonna tackle me, or you too light skinned to be this, or you too, have you ever had that experience where someone like questioned your toughness based on your pigment, so to say?
Right? Look, we all know the locker room, right? Like you got the
Of
locker room
course.
environment. Like
Of course.
it's like that's never ending shots. Like that's just like everybody going at everybody. It is what it is, right?
Yeah, man.
Though and there were, I could say, I had coaches question my toughness, right? You coming out, and you know what, rightfully so. Like I think you go through this evolution as a player when you come out of high school. You're gonna go through and you find out what type of player you are. You're still learning, right? So coming out of school, it was I was the most athletic, right? I was a guy that could do things that didn't require toughness. You were better, right? I was better than whoever I was facing, right? Especially coming out of the area we were at. And so when you go to college, you still may be better than some guys, but you don't know how to play physical. You don't know how
Yeah.
you don't know that you need to assert, so you get labeled as soft. And I had to overcome that. Now, I didn't have anything to do with my pigmentation. It was just a style of play. I didn't realize, like, I was so used to just, like, I'm going to beat this guy.
You just were
I'm
better.
going to block this
And
guy. I'm bigger, I'm stronger, I'm faster, whatever it is. Now now it's a different level of intensity that you need to learn how to play with. You got to draw that out. And so, I adopted that. And
yeah.
I think there was also a time my freshman year, I had gotten into a scuffle with the biggest, strongest dude on our team. He was my locker mate, Matt Mulligan. I love him. He's a great fan to this day. Literally, he was like a guy on Hard Knocks. Like the coach was like, "You're here for one reason. You're stronger than everybody. Go hit him." You know what I mean? Like this is that type of dude. And I got into a scuffle with him one time, and I think that kind of had changed. Like, okay, JK don't. Like he's about that. Like, yeah, he's here for that.
We're not going to test him no more.
Like he's here for but it was, it takes certain things like that, step in. So it was never a thing. And then when I got in the league, it was, when you in the league, I mean, it's dog.
You there for a reason.
You can't. Yeah, nice guys don't finish last, man. Like you showing up, it's you trying to put food on the table. There's other cats trying to put food on the table for their families. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't. this ain't no time to be playing nice. So, you know, you got to flip that switch when you get out there and you just go.
Yeah, yeah, I can. Yeah, and obviously, you know, shout out to the best light skinned defensive backfield in all of the NFL, the Buffalo Bills.
That's
Yeah, yeah.
that is
Well,
funny. That is
one
funny.
time for Taron Johnson, one time for Micah Hyde, one time for
Yeah.
Jordan Poyer.
Hey man,
Gentlemen, I appreciate what you did this year. Thank you.
that's funny. That's funny. I'm gonna pass that message along. Those cats, man, them guys they're real back there, man.
Yeah,
That's the
they
whole
don't play.
squad, but that group.
Yes.
Now that you say it, yeah, they what's getting done. Proof.
The dopest light skinned defensive backfield in the NFL.
There's some dogs right there, man. No doubt, they are.
You let them know when you talk to them if they want to jump on here. I'll be happy to have a conversation
Yeah.
with them too. They can talk about their experiences in life.
I'm sure we all, you know, everybody's got them, right? Everybody's got them. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
They don't like
yeah.
too. They light bright. They might be lighter than me. Yeah, they looking like you. No question. See, I'm looking like this right now, and I see myself. I really, you know, I don't know if it's the lighting or whatever. I look yellow out here. I'm really high yellow, but man, it's in the summer it was crazy because I get so dark. Man, I get like my dad. That's where I can see my dad. Right? It's like my dad is burnt. This kid, like my uncle, my cousins call him Uncle Chocolate. Like he's dark. But I can in the summer, it's like, man, I'm like 8 shades. Like it's drastic. It's crazy.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Here we are right
I mean,
now, peak of winter.
See, I actually just was asked today by a friend. They were like, "Do you go out in the sun at all?" And I was like, "This, first of all, yes, I do." Okay.
You live.
I was like, "Yes, I do." But because it's 82 degrees out here during the day right now. But that's that's neither here nor there.
We probably pushing 25 as a high right now. Yeah.
That's not for me.
Yeah, it hurts my heart. It's not for me either. But here, look, I got soft, man. You know what? I mean, look, we grew up here. I went and played ball in Maine. I played ball up in Canada, Denver. You know, I've been in cold weather cities almost my whole life. When I moved to Cali, when I was living in the Bay, I got spoiled. Since I've come back, when I came back, took this job at the Bills almost. This is going into my 5th season now. So the cold ain't been the same since, man. Bro, like, I'm telling you, the blood done thinned out on me. I don't know, somewhere along the line, Cali ruined me, and it just hasn't been the same since. So everything is layers now. Layers.
Bro, I feel you.
Layers.
I've been in Dubai 6 years. I was in Vegas for 9 before that.
Yeah, so you know.
It's been a long time since I've been in snow for more than 24 hours.
See, I love the heat. I need it. Like when I get out west, it's like it just feels great. But I mean, we can weather this and do what you got to do. But man, put me under a palm tree with a margarita, man. It's something like I'm good. I'm good to go.
I know a place if you're ever looking for a vacation, buddy.
Man, I'm not playing about the flight. I've been looking, man. It's just scheduling time at work, everything else. So
yeah. Everybody's got excuses. Like I said, man, it took Kaz 6 years to get here.
Say it again.
It took Kaz 6 years to get here.
Yeah, there you go. Shout out to Fizz.
Yeah, I mean, so jumping back into a little bit of the topic. Being that you are one of Buffalo, New York, maybe even all of Western New York's most eligible bachelors.
Come on.
Okay.
Don't do this. This wasn't a question.
It was a question.
Questions.
I promise you it's on there. Go back and look through them. Dating.
Yeah.
Right. So many different layers and elements to this. From how other families will accept you or not accept you as far as who their daughter's dating, to being the first black guy I've ever been with, or even as much as what kind of girls you specifically like. Like if you're with somebody, be like this, of course you'd pick that girl, or obviously you like this one. Like people have this idea of how you feel or what you're supposed to like. How does dating work in the world of Jeremy Kelley? You
know what's funny is so first of all, I don't like this like the dating term to me is like
we talk?
Like, I don't like I don't know, like when you meet somebody, or you
Mm-hmm.
if you know, like you catch a vibe, and then you spend some time, and then right. There's really kind of like no dating. You're like, I'm all in on that, right? Like
I'm hanging out with this right here, and we gonna
yeah,
do this just you
yeah,
and me,
like
kid.
the
Yeah.
whole like, I mean, everybody, there's some women on here, I'm sure, and probably they want the old school courting, and you're gonna go through the whole, and I mean, you do it, you know what I'm saying? Like, you get to know each other, whatever. But I'm the type that's like, hey, there's like no games. If I got a vibe, if I catch a feeling, we checking it out. We're gonna progress and go through this
Mm-hmm.
process, whatever that process may be.
Yeah.
But it's funny, in terms of race. I mean, it's funny. My mother used to always, tease me growing up, like, you gonna date a black girl, white girl, right? Like, now she's joking in this. This is tongue in cheek, but it's a question, right? Like,
Yeah. It's an
the
actual
fact that
question.
she asked the question, it automatically becomes a thing. But why, right? It's like this construct of like, which do you need to choose? Who knows, man, right? Like, if you got it, you got it. I don't care if you black, white, Indian, Asian. That's it. And so, for me, everybody has preferences or biases, or whatever it is that you prefer.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, if you got it, you got it. Like, I don't have, it's you can be surrounded by one thing your whole life, like, and we know that, right? It might be different, so you could be biased towards one over the other, but at the end of the day, it's whoever you gel with. And so,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
obviously here in Buffalo, it's just, I mean, it's a numbers game, right? It's a lot smaller of a place
Yeah.
to choose from than going to New York City or Toronto or whatever that may be, right? And so, it's just, yeah. I mean, I'm here. I'm single. that's what,
I mean, there it is.
that's what it is,
Anybody,
man. Like,
ladies, for y'all watching this in the 716, the
I'm
man
gonna
said
leave
he's
it at
single.
that. We ain't diving too deep into it, but that's it.
Shout out one time to your homie Buffalogo. I was actually on that website the other day. There's a lot of really good shit on there. So shout out one time to Buffalogo. Appreciate the work you're doing.
My man E, yeah, Eric, he does a great job. He's got him and his partner. They do some great work, man. They got some great stuff on there. They do for sure. They
Yeah.
work closely with Stevie Johnson, former NFL receiver. I know that.
Yep. Yep.
Good people, man. Good people. That's a city, though. That's what it is. You
Of
just
course.
neighbors.
I might have to hop on there and grab that circle the wagons hoodie because nobody circles the wagons like Buffalo Bills.
Plug.
Yeah, plug. Hey, plug. It is what it is. You show love.
Right.
You show love.
Right.
Um,
Shout out to all 13 people that's on here, though. Y'all care enough to know what we're saying, or you're just bored. But shout out to you.
I mean, either way, if you listening, we appreciate you listening to the stories. You know what I mean?
Shout out to you. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
man. I actually had a friend of mine hit me up the other day. I put some up, asking people what questions would they like to have answered or brought up or discussed.
All right.
And two things that I want to bring up, two of the questions I really, really wanted to bring up were, A, what would you tell younger you now that you know all the things that you've learned? Like, what would you tell teenage you about being mixed in that era versus how things are going to play out, or just what information, what advice would you give yourself?
Right. I would say, I would say, be who you are, right? You can always, and I think, to be honest with you, like, that sounds so basic and simple, right? And I guess let me elaborate, but I think any teenager, you try to conform, or you want to fit in, or you want to be accepted in whatever circles that may be, right? Now, as I can only speak to my experiences, right? So as athletes, it's a little bit different because you're automatically surrounded by a team. Now, you're empowered, you're insulated by that, right? But
Yeah.
for the kid that's walking the hallways, as an adolescent, trying to find himself and his identity and who he is, or whatever that is, right? That can be a challenge. But even, and I'm going to speak to, even as an athlete, right? Obviously, you and I were the fish out of waters. So, you again try to conform in whatever way that might be, even though you do have your circle, even though you are accepted, even though you are, you might be at the cool kid block, whatever that is, you still are trying to find your way. right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you can establish that identity early, you're conscious of that, or you can really educate yourself on what that is. I mean, you really become more, I say that to say the key to it is establishing some confidence and really truly being confident, because that, man, that's the foundation. Like, I mean, that's going to apply in every level in life. I mean,
Absolutely.
as a professional, as you go off to college, as in relationships, whatever that might be, if you can establish that identity early, I mean, you give yourself a great foundation. You really do. No question.
Yeah. I absolutely, I couldn't agree more. I was, in my own experience, I was very fortunate enough to have the support group, the support system that gave me the confidence to be who I was, that told me who I was fine, was good enough. You know what I mean? And trying to be something that I wasn't didn't make any sense. It wasn't necessary. It wasn't something I had to do. I didn't have to pretend to like this or act like that or feel like this if that's not what was genuinely in my heart or genuinely what I wanted to do. And so if, this song came on and I decided to dance like that, then that's how I danced. And that was cool. If I had rhythm or not, it was fine.
Right.
Or if this girl walked by and I was like, yo, I like that girl, they'd be like, you're not supposed to like that type of girl. Nah, that was never it. It was, yo, like what you like, be who you are. And I think that combined with the fact that, knowing that, as you mentioned at the beginning of this, that having these experiences from two separate worlds of races is such a blessing, and to embrace that blessing and learn as much as you can from those experiences as you go through them, I think is something that has to be
Right.
told and has to be taught.
Well, think about it like this, right? So you and I were fortunate in that sense because that was something that we dealt with early on, just because we had to. It was around.
Hmm.
It was part of our environment based off of us being different. And so think about the kid that comes from rural America or even whatever suburbs, and goes off to college. Right now, you're exposed to this world that you never been, right? So now you think about those kids that go off to college and they go wild.
Yeah, man.
Now they meet this group of people and they meet this group of people, but they ain't never been nowhere. They ain't never seen nothing outside,
Yep.
right? And now they're trying to find out who they are, right? Like,
And it's harder to do it. It's harder to
right.
do later in life.
We've been exposed to it at a much earlier age.
Hmm.
That's not everywhere. Every situation is different. You can't just throw it under an umbrella. But for the sake of this story and connecting these dots, I mean, that's where we were fortunate in that sense.
Yeah, I guess ultimately the underlying thing is experiencing diversity as soon as possible, as early on in life as
No
possible,
doubt.
is gonna help you become a well-rounded individual.
No question. I have conversations all the time, man, with a buddy of mine, and great friend. Actually, you would probably know him, but I'm not going to name him on this. So, he's got a kid that's an athlete and whatnot, and he's they're out predominantly white area, out in Orchard Park, Hamburg area, right? And so his kid's just a stud, right? And anything that he touches, he picks up a stick, he plays soccer, whatever it might be. I'm like,
Hmm.
he's like, yeah, we might do this with him, and we might, we're thinking about keeping him in this because he's really good at it. I'm like, throw my man, take him out of that pond, man. Don't go. Look, do me a favor and go put him in basketball somewhere. I want to see him do something. I don't care about him going against these little 6, 7, 8-year-olds out here that, in this little bubble out here.
Yeah.
The city, give him some exposure early. I promise you, in 5, 10 years, he'll be.
He's gonna be he'll be a killer. He'll be a killer.
It's gonna be another level, right? Because he'll been exposed to so much more. He'll be exposed from a cultural perspective, from a communication perspective, from a competitive perspective. There's just so many. It's just you got dogs in the city. We just talked about. You got kids that have gone through stuff that are tough, that are they're rugged. Now, when you're forced to compete in that and learn how to operate in some different, in a different environment, it ain't the same old, you know how to navigate these waters over here. Now you got to swim with the sharks, right? And so I keep talking to men. I'm trying to like get them to come around to that idea, but you know, that's you can't. You know, that's every parent's prerogative, man, and you know, so that's what it is. But his kid is he is a killer already, though. That's why I want him. I actually think he could, you know, hold his own. But you know, that's for every parent. You know, we all know those soccer moms or hockey dads that are out there that they kids the best until they take the field with some real ones.
Yeah, they get out there.
Little Sally and little Sammy, they're ready to tap out.
Coach, sub.
I can speak to that, right? I can speak. In high school, right? So we started to play AAU ball. So for folks that are on here, you know, that's travel basketball, whatnot. And obviously during the early 2000s, Buffalo was a hotbed. Buffalo, Niagara Falls, is a hotbed for basketball. You know, you got, you know, Johnny Flynn's, Paul Harris's, all these cats are going out, ended up becoming lottery picks in the league. And so we get recruited to go and try out, and we play in the city with the GC Ballers, who are the squad, right? You got Mike Williams, the cast I just mentioned, Lazar Haywards, you know, these guys getting it done. And I think literally everybody I just named went to the NBA.
Well, I was going to say they all went to the league.
Right? And so we go down, you know, you're 15, 16-year-old kids at this time, but you know these cats, you know, so when you show up to tournaments, I mean, every college coach in the nation is around the court watching. Now, me, I'm still trying to I'm growing into my feet, yo. I'm trying to walk without tripping and do at the same time, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm the kid that every coach is like, man, when he's growing to his hands and this and that, he's going, right? And so I'm athletic, but I'm the most unathletic, you know, cat on the court, you know, in the sense of like, I'm the most athletic, but least coordinated cat on the court. So,
yeah.
I'm trying to figure it out along the way. But point of the story is, coming from West Seneca, we about to go down here to the city. I go to my mom, like, yo, Mom, we got to go shopping. So what do you mean we got to go shopping? I'm like, yeah, I ain't wearing no Hollister down. At this point, like, it wasn't a thing in the city yet. Somewhere along, I'm like, yo, Abercrombie ain't going to cut it down in Delavan and Moselle Center. I'm about to get clowned. We can't do that. You know, so Mom, you know, and Mom understood. So now we go, you know, I had to go cop me some ones, got me some Fresh Forces. Right, Foot Locker 5 for $20 tall tees.
Stop it! I
gotta assimilate, right, to a culture. Even though I'm black, right, I gotta assimilate to a culture that's because it's just I haven't spent time. Now I know the first thing I know is like, yeah, I can't set myself up for failure down here. We gotta change this up. This can't happen. But again, back to being who you are. At that time, I didn't have the confidence to walk into it, you know, and know that, hey, my skills going to do the talking for all this. It just wasn't there.
Yeah.
But how many thousands of kids out there experience something like that, right?
Everybody's. I mean,
exactly.
If there's somebody who hasn't gone through that,
right? And so, you know, and then it's like, yo, why you talk funny? You talk white. You talk. Meanwhile, in my mind, I'm like, I mean, I'm just highly educated. I don't know what you want me to say.
I don't understand.
Right?
What do you mean?
Right. Like, so, you know, those are just unique experiences I think I had as a kid that I look back now and I value, you know, it allows you to blend. I say it's a chameleon factor, man. Like you and I can walk into any environment, whether it's C-suite, you know, with billionaires in the room, owners of franchises, or, you know, we going sitting on a block with, you know, with the homies or playing dominoes or space, you know, whatever it is, we can blend, you know?
Yeah, man.
So, yeah.
Yeah, man. It was, I remember, I think it was my junior or senior year of high school. And I think it was my senior year of high school. We had just switched into the next division up. So we started playing North Tonawanda. We started playing Clarence. And and on the schedule for the first time was Lackawanna. And
that was when Lackawanna was Lackawanna. They were Lackawanna. They were,
Kima Dickinson, Joe West, they had these kids were all state in every sport they were in.
Right. Track, basketball, everything. Yeah. Yeah.
Bro, their 4x100 all-state team was 4 players on their skill position on the football field on both sides of the ball. Like it was, these kids were dunking since they were 7 years old. The athleticism was there. I mean, this was a great team. They ended up going to state. Like they played for the state championship. But I remember seeing that on the schedule and I was like, yo, let's go. Right? I was pumped. I was like, yo, let's go.
Right.
And I remember all my teammates being like this, well, we lost that game.
Right.
And I was like this,
Scared. Right.
we didn't even start camp yet. They just got the schedule out. And you talk about some, so we're going to lose this one. They're going to be tough because, you know, they're Lackawanna. And I was like this, oh, you mean because they only have 2 white kids on their team.
Right. Exactly.
Got it.
Exactly.
And I remember thinking, I was like this, I don't know why y'all feel like that. I know a lot of really unathletic, non-talented black people. So I was like, I don't know.
You're like,
just because they're
brother.
black.
Oh, shoot, shout out to Drake. My bad, dog.
Wow. We'll have to edit that out in post-production. We're going to have to edit that out in post-production. But yeah, I was like this. I know a lot. I was like, I know a lot of people that can't chew gum and dribble, let alone, you know what I mean?
Right.
All of a sudden you're just counting that L. Let me tell you, boy, we got out on that field and got all the way dusted too. They beat the hell out of us. We didn't have a chance because we got on that field and they put up 21 in the first quarter. It was a wrap, bro. It was a wrap.
Everybody on the team was shook.
100%. Yo, we lost that game. I'm telling you, we lost the game when the schedule came out.
Right.
And it was, again, because of lack of experience and exposure to a certain people, just assuming, well, you know, black people, they're athletic.
Yeah.
What? Come on, guy. They're just humans like you're human.
Stigma,
if you're better, then you're better.
I mean, you know, we use that to our advantage, right? When we joke, like we could, you know, black people, like, yo, y'all better hope we don't get into the NHL. It's over, right? Like, you know, we use that.
Bro.
It's just like, you know, but it's, you know, stereotypes, stigmas. I mean,
yeah. They always gonna be there.
They always gonna be there. Social constructs, man. It's the world we live in. You know, we just gotta, you know, but that's why, you know, I love what's taking place right now, and I love being a professional in the front office of an organization. Having been, you know, being a former player, one, and overcoming those stereotypes, being biracial and being, you know, one of a few minorities in the building, and being able to advocate in this side, right? That's my fight, right? You can think about, you know, when all the riots and stuff would take place throughout the course of the summer last year during the spring and whatnot. And, you know, I was conflicted actually to a degree because I'm like, you know, I went down, you know, and I marched in certain things, but then there was some stuff that was going on. I'm like, that's not my fight right there, right? Like that's not my role. And I didn't want to put myself in those situations or circumstances, you know, and I'm involved in a handful of things here in the community, whether it be boards or whatever, what have you. But I didn't feel as though I was like, that's not my role here. My role is going to be within these meeting rooms, breaking the stereotype. My role is going to be changing the narrative. My role is going to be giving them my perspective and affecting change that way.
Sure.
That's for me. That's where I can inflict change, right? Which is from the business community or whatever else that I'm involved in. You know, that stuff is great, but that wasn't my space, I felt like at the time, right? And so I think that's one thing for a lot of people to look at is to be intentional about, yo, what is it that you are going to do? You know what I mean? You can sit on the sidelines, you can talk about it, you can post on social, you can do what you want to do, but what are you doing? Right? So for me, I wanted to be intentional about that because, you know, we can just get caught up in this media thing and what we, you know, everything that we just do or whatever's going on in society from a technical standpoint, but what are you really doing? And so I thought that was, you know, that was worth mentioning as we talking about this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think it's you know, there was another question that had popped up earlier about, you know, is it too late to quote unquote be black if you're not raised in that society, community environment? And I almost didn't want to bring the question up because to me, you don't become black.
Right.
You know, and this was to your point about, you know, when you would mention you were wearing the Hollister, or you don't talk black or what have you. You don't become black
You are.
at any point. You just are.
You are. Right.
And
I
and
mean,
you're that version, or your version of what black is. Because
no doubt.
I've been black my whole life. I've been white my whole life. This is my version of black and white. Like, it's
I
not.
always joke with that. It's like people say that, but do you identify with, whether it's friends being funny or whatever? Like, yo, but you equally white as you are black. Whatever. I put it this way. I'm like, okay. I put down on a resume, Jeremy Kelley. First of all, they think I'm white because of my name. Second of all, I put down like Caucasian, right? And I show up. Hey, I'm sorry, you must be in the wrong. They gonna look at me nuts, right? What does America see? This is what it is. Like,
We said Jeremy Kelley. Can someone get Jeremy?
Exactly. This are you? Like, it's not that, right? So, dang. By the way, look, see this? I knew this was gonna happen, bro. See, I got this.
It's okay. I know. I've been watching, bro. You got 2 minutes. It's a hard stop at 6 o'clock.
It's funny to see it that way, but I don't think it's ever too late, man. You are what you are, and that's where I go back to the identity piece. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can joke and people, there's a lot of folk that be empowered now and look, I never beat my chest on this stuff, man, until I got to college, and there was a Black Student Union that was taking place, and I felt as an athlete and as a figurehead on campus, I could be a voice that could get up and speak in front of the president of the university or the chairs or whoever. And so I chose that role, but it was for the betterment of whoever, but also probably for myself to make sure that I was comfortable in my being, right? But when it comes down to it, I would just encourage people to, embrace that, embrace their identity. Don't ever feel conflicted about who you are, and just own it. Own it.
I can dig it. Jeremy, I know you have to go. I'm sorry. I apologize to the people. I apologize to you. I know you got to get through. You're a busy man.
It doesn't have to be the last time we hop on this thing, man. I'm accessible. You know that.
For sure it won't be. For sure it won't be.
This is great, man. This is great. Keep doing this too, yo. You know what I mean?
Hey, trying to just have a couple conversations and share some experiences. You know what I mean?
I love it. My God.
I appreciate you, sir. Go do what you're doing. Live your best life. Talk to VPs of things and such. Become an ambassador for all that is amazing about human beings.
My man.
And sir, thank you for joining MixtKid's Club.
No, I love it, man. All right. We'll talk to you later.
My G. Have a good one. That indeed was Jeremy Kelley, a dear, dear friend of mine, an amazing member of the MixtKid's Society, the MixtKid's Club. Thank you guys for tuning in. We will see you again next week, Tuesday. I have a beautiful young lady who used to live in Dubai here, now back in the States. Again, thank you all. See you soon.